The NBA season is over. The regular season is over. One of the most forgettable regular seasons in a long time. But the playoffs are here. The SoFi play-in tournament is here. And before we get into these top storylines and breaking down, giving our picks for Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll save our picks for the actual playoff series on Friday. Friday, we're going to have the playoff preview special. The homie Pavi should be joining. Pavi's not joining us today because this nigga's in London, but he should be joining us on Friday. Of course, we have cousin Dan Fridays on Friday. We'll be talking about each series breakdown by breakdown. But the question here that I got to ask you, brothers, who is the NBA MVP? Now, the official candidates have not been announced yet, but I'm going to take an educated guess that those three candidates will be Mr. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder, Mr. Nikola Jokic of the defending champion Denver Nuggets, and Mr. Jaylen Brunson of the number 2 seeded New York Knicks. I was on the Jokic fence pretty much all season, but I have changed my tune. I think the MVP should be Shai. I think the MVP should be Shai, and I'm going to go even further with this one. I'm going to go even further with it. Number 2 should be Jaylen Brunson. I think Jokic should come and say, Dan ain't showing if Bron them lose. That's actually a good point. He might not show up if Bron them lose, even though he said on Friday that he has Denver repeating, but that you got a good point. But I think it should go to Shai. I mean, I thought that the Oklahoma City Thunder would have a leap this year, obviously. I didn't think that they would be 57 wins, number 1 seed good. They completely dusted the Mavericks yesterday. Now, granted, Luka and Kyrie did not play last night. When I saw that score, I'm like, these niggas are 40. There's no way that Luka and Kyrie hooped at all. There's no way that happened. But they've just been a great team. They've been a great team. They've been consistent. I feel like a lot of people, and I'm one of them, are sleeping on them with their actual playoff chances. Got to give love to Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren played all 82 games. And I know that seemed like it shouldn't be something too big, but in the era of load management, especially with young players, I got to give to Chet Holmgren. But also, Shai did all of this leading this team. This is his 5th or 6th season with the team since he was traded from the Clippers. He's really become a star. I'm not ready to call him a superstar because, in my opinion, superstar is only like 6 or 7 of those. When I think superstar, I think on and off the court. That's a conversation we've had on this show multiple times, and I've had on Twitter. I'm not going to do it again, but I think Shai is a big star, big part of the young guard heading into it. But he led this team to number 1 seed with no all-star teammates. I think that's a big thing we got to factor in here with no all-star teammates. So if I had a vote, I give it to Shai. I think that Jokic probably fumbled it the last week or two with them dropping from the number 1 seed to 3rd. And for everybody, it's more than just stats. The record has a lot to do with it. We can sit up here and argue about whether or not that's how the NBA should be voting it. It's a tradition that's been long, and that's just how it is. And also, he's also 2-time MVP as it is, so he's already going to have the we tied this nigga win MVP bias that comes with him. So I'm going to give it to Mr. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if I had an MVP vote. Dante, who would you be giving the MVP to?
My whole thing is, like I've been saying, we need some new blood out there. Shai is a good one, and I think I would go. I wouldn't, dispute that, but I would give it to Jaylen Brunson. I know this is not gonna happen, but I think Jaylen Brunson should win MVP, bro. He's really been the heart and soul of that Knicks team. When everybody, even when they brought him in, they was like, "Oh, we brought him in to help Julius Randle." Well, no, that's his team. Like, he's the best player on that basketball team. Once again, it looks like a bad move for Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban denies that the offer that Brunson said he would play for, but that's neither here nor there. We won't have to talk about that anymore at this point. He is the best player on the Knicks, and they should be looking to add a player that complements Jaylen Brunson, or that they can add that plays along with Jaylen Brunson, as opposed to, people have been saying, well, we need a lead dog because it's not him. I think he has shown you this year that he can be the best player on that team, and I think that that's somebody that they really should give the MVP to.
Bang, where you standing at with this?
Man, I mean, I was on the Shai train for the majority of the season, saying as long as they got the number 1 seed, I don't think you cannot give it to them. Like, you got to give it to them if that was the case. But I'm with Dante. I think Jaylen Brunson did enough, more than enough, in the biggest market in the United States to get the look for MVP. So if I was picking for somebody for MVP, especially with them being the second seed without possibly their best player, if we want to be technical, hella technical, since as you said, he was supposedly brought in to help him. Nah, man, Jaylen Brunson should be your MVP this season.
I'm not mad at that at all, man. I think Jaylen Brunson is deserving. I don't know if he, will win it, but if you look at everything he's worked with this year, I mean, it's the same thing with the Nuggets a little bit. Not the Nuggets, but the OKC was. I think we all expected them to have a good season, but we were thinking 4th to 5th seed range like last year. Number 2 seed, all the injuries that they dealt with. Julius Randle, who's my man? His name is OG Anunoby, was out for a long time, and even Jaylen missed a little bit of time himself. But last night, big win over the Bulls. Bulls should have won that game, but DeMar be thinking this is Rucker Park at the end of games. And that's why with him missing that shot at the end. But 40 points from him, he's been great. And so I have no problem with Jaylen winning. But Shai is led the league in 30-point games, and Shai is somebody where I feel like he, as I said on Friday, I want to see it in the playoffs because he's just too cool, calm, and collected. Like, you don't see no energy from him. Like, you see the energy from Jaylen Brunson. Now, granted, he is the leader of a very energetic fan base, and I don't know about y'all. I've never met an Oklahoma City Thunder fan a day in my life. So I think that's the difference with that too. But I think all 3 of these guys are deserving. I think this is a very tight race, and I am interested to see who's going to come up on the side. Which way are the voters leaning when it comes to this, man? So I'm definitely interested to see how that's going to go. But
paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not.